Welcome everybody to the Bunch of Goofs podcast. Here's our host, Agent Faja Gamer, and his co-hosts, Odacia and Hey I'm Chef. And together they are the Bunch of Goofs.
Well, hey there, everybody. I just wanted to remind y'all that Bunch of Goofs is recorded in front of a live audience during a live cast on Twitch.
Hello everybody and welcome to another Bunch of Goofs livecast podcast. We've got me, we've got Oda, and we've got Chef. Although Chef's on his phone at the moment because his computer decided to update. Because Discord was all funny and fucky. But either way, we're here, talking about whatever. Hope everybody had a great weekend.
I had an awesome weekend.
Yeah? What'd you do?
I had a weekend.
You had a weekend.
Saturday, my wife and I went to a sit and stitch. Basically, you sit down with a bunch of other crafty people, and you do your needlepoint crafting. Normally cross stitch.
Right on. Sounds like a lot.
It's always funny because everybody has to catch themselves and add "and gentlemen." I'm usually the only guy there. So everybody's gonna go, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. It happens at least once every time. It's hysterical. And if you want to see what I did, tomorrow we should have our video out on the Slovak farm.
Sweet. Which, if those of you who watch a Bunch of Goofs don't know, Slovak Farm is a regular Stitch podcast that both Oda and his wife do together. It is adorable, it is a lot of fun to watch, and it's actually quite informative.
We try to be. And also, we're very good at answering questions. At least we try to.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of podcasts, there's also another member of our group that does a podcast. His name is Chef, and he does a podcast known as Nostalgic Nerd Out on YouTube. Definitely one y'all should check out if you like to have a laugh and like nostalgic content. You want to relive the 90s? Go check him out.
I'm slowly trying to get back into posting again. Got super sick and then went. I haven't posted an episode in like 3 or 4 months because again got sick and then it got better and then got sick again.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I'm just glad that at this moment, and I'm knocking on wood here, that hay fever hasn't hit me just yet. It's gonna probably sometime in the summer when all of the plants decide to have the greatest orgy of their life.
Okay, there's currently like pollen I have to take off my car.
It sucks, doesn't it?
Same.
Thing is, I actually, because I have year-round, I take an Allegra, I take Flonase nasal spray every day.
See, Allegra doesn't really work too well for me. I don't know. Every time I've tried it on a consistent basis, I start getting an upset stomach.
That bad idea for you then.
Yeah, I've
They
tried.
don't bother me. None of the.
Okay, I will be right back. It looks like the computer is back up. So.
All right. Chef is going to dip out for just a second. We're gonna switch screens for just a second, and that is some of the things that I need to work on is my screen transitions, because I need to get a stinger done for a stinger done for my regular, Asian Faja Gamer content when I'm live, and then I think that's really the only one that I need to do.
Can you please define what a stinger is?
So you've watched my
Yeah.
You've watched my Fajali Advice podcast, right?
A couple of episodes. I'm terrible at keeping up with it.
Oh, don't worry about it. Well, when you watch the episode, when I go from a submission to the response, you'll see that little transition occur. That's a stinger.
Okay. I thought that was just called a transition effect.
I mean, it's pretty much that. Transition effect, stinger. It's got multiple terms. When it comes to weird terms, though, did you know that what we saw, the cycling motion of a computer thinking, that icon, it's called a It's called a what was the name of it? Shit, it was an awkward name too. Jumbler? I regret. I'm gonna have to look it up again. Frankie, dude. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate the Galaxy here on TikTok. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, if y'all do want to join me, we are live on Twitch at Asian Faja Gamer. Link is in my bio, but I am going to try to keep minimal interaction here. If you guys do want to join us, check out the link, check it out, but I am trying to do minimal interactions to make it so that this can be a much more easier edit for me, and so that I don't interrupt anybody while they're talking. Sorry, Oda.
Oh,
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yay! The update reset all my fucking settings, and when I joined, I was talking, and then it's like, no, you guys are gonna keep talking over me because you guys can't hear me because it reset my fucking mic in back to fucking default.
Gotta love edit. Gotta love updates, especially when they either like when updates go right, something goes wrong. When updates go wrong, everything goes wrong.
You know what the best part is because my computer fucking updated, that means it's gonna fuck up my OBS too.
Oh shit. Right, you gotta double check and make sure all of your settings there are correct.
Tonight, oh my god. Should we address the elephant in the room?
You're an elephant in the
I
room.
am right here, okay?
Hey, just because
Democracy
we're all
won.
fat doesn't mean we all gotta bring it up.
No, democracy won.
Democracy did win, yes.
For now.
For now. But yes, Helldivers 2 has had an amazing community coming together, as well as within that community coming together, a pushback on AAA studios, and for the first time in almost, I want to say 7 or 8 years, Sony actually apologized and took a step back.
Oh, it wasn't a heartfelt one though.
No, it was not.
Do you know what Valve did? People had hundreds of hours in the game and they were still giving them refunds.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's because
Valve stepped up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's because literally everybody hates Sony, aside from the Sony fanboys.
And that's only Sony's fault because Sony fucked up constantly.
Well,
Did you hear what they did on Sunday?
No.
thing?
177 countries had Helldivers 2 taken off the Steam page.
It was 160.
Oh,
Or
Jesus.
106. It was 169. It's
I
only
saw 77.
it's only
Oh,
available. Yeah, it's only available in like 60 countries because they're the only ones that allow PSN network or PSN.
So all the people who bought them from those countries, nobody knows if they can still play or if they're going to cut down on that.
As of right now, it is still region locked.
Yeah.
It is still delisted in those countries.
Oh my god. Which is actually, a lot of people said that they're not taking down their negative reviews until those countries are allowed to play the game again, because we lost a good portion of our player base.
We lost upwards of the statistics. If I remember correctly, last updated was almost 37.5% of our gameplay base in Helldivers 2, just off of that decision alone.
Here's the problem in that though. 160 to 180 countries lost access to the game. We only lost 30-something% of the player base. Because the fucking first world countries have that many gamers playing the fucking game.
Also,
that is something to be said.
Can fit in your country, in your state.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. A lot of those countries have populations the same size as our smaller states.
Yeah.
So technically, you can count the U.S. as 50 countries, basically.
I mean, yeah, technically, with how overcrowded we are here.
Fit inside, like, all of Europe can fit inside, like, Alaska, if I remember right.
Yeah, Alaska can go from England to Russia.
Yeah.
And then
that's
we have,
not counting the little part,
and then we have Texas.
which is smaller.
Yeah, which is smaller.
You
Yeah.
can get Texas in Australia.
True, but that's what they. But you know, it's the Texas attitude. They're bigger than everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only because Alaska doesn't give a shit.
True.
And here's the other problem with Alaska. The entire population of the state is less than the entire population of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah.
Because that's just,
It'll you to traverse most of that state.
yeah.
Alaska,
Well,
you
only for 6 months out of the year.
No, I'm saying that even during the summer, then you have to worry about the animals that are there.
You're talking to somebody who's lived in Alaska. I know.
No, thank you. I do not want to go where the bears are bigger than the biggest thing I've ever seen in a zoo.
Dude, I was driving down one of the main streets in Anchorage in my aunt's Dodge Caliber at like 4 o'clock in the morning on my way to work. And a fucking moose was just crossing the fucking road, and I could have driven the fucking Caliber underneath the moose.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that people seriously underestimate is the size of a moose. They're huge. And what's up, Scotty?
They taste good though.
Yeah. And you know, just like remember that story I told y'all about the dumbass and his garage and the moose.
Yeah. You know what? And here's what's really scary. The bears up there eat the moose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was living up there, we were out salmon fishing. Well, on our way to where we were going to salmon fish on the river. And all of a sudden, this fucking reindeer, I shit you not, reindeer, fucking the banks were a good 20-25 feet above the river.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking caribou comes flying to the edge and just jumps the fuck off and into the river, like behind our boat. And we're like, what in the fuck just happened? We turn and look, and there's a fucking Kodiak just sitting at the top.
Oh.
It's like, oh, so you're not gonna dive in after it?
Oh my god. Yeah, no, thank you. Like, Les Stroud from Survivor Man?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alaska is one of the places where they wouldn't allow him to go without a gun.
Well, so it's Alaskan law. If you are out in the woods, you have to carry at least a .44 caliber pistol with you.
Mm-hmm. It's safety law.
Yeah, I think he had a 308 rifle.
357 is too small. You need at least a .44.
Okay, all I know is it was a bolt action rifle, okay?
Well, rifles are different. Pistols are legally required if you're out in the woods.
Yeah.
So, when I say he had a gun, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I've seen this guy shoot. He's not bad, actually.
No, he's actually
He
pretty good.
could have gotten that fracking bear before the bear. The bear probably wouldn't have gotten close to him with that gun because he was a good shot.
Bears tank
He was-
bullets.
Yeah.
Also, where he would have seen the thing out by 2 miles.
Yeah, I've seen a bear tank bullets. It's not pretty.
No, because they get all you do is until you kill them, all you've done is cheese them off.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a pissed off bear is no joke. I mean, a swipe from a polar bear can literally scalp you.
I mean,
If your head doesn't go with it.
Yeah.
I don't know which of the 3 biggest bears in the United States I would want to fuck with.
Grizzly,
None.
brown bear,
whether- No, grizzly, yes. Brown bear, no. Kodiak, yes, and polar bear.
Ah.
And polar bears are the scariest ones because they're live in such a sparse environment. You're made of meat, and they are opportunistic.
Mhm.
Yes,
And
they
they
will
are
chase you for
voracious.
miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, most
They-
bears in the woods, if they see a human, as long as their cubs aren't around, and they're not really fucking hungry, they'll give you a wide berth. I see most.
Males can be a little territorial.
Also, like what Les Stroud does is he just keeps yelling, and
Yeah.
usually the male will challenge him, and he will advance in the opposite direction, and they'll
Yeah.
leave him alone.
Mhm.
A lot of it depends upon the species of bear too.
Also, as like the season too, because if it's breeding season, then it's not a good time to be out there.
I don't think they would have let him out there at that time.
Yeah, no,
Not by himself.
that's a
Funny,
death
every
sentence.
time I think of anything to do with like breeding season and people being around, the scene from Ace Ventura when nature calls pops into my head.
The rhino, look.
No, not the rhino. When Ace is walking through the jungle and that one bush is just shaking. It's like, oh, a silverback gorilla. It's like, yeah, it's their mating season. He just walks away and the bush starts shaking. And then towards the end of at the end of the video, when the fucking main bad guy thinks he gets away, and then all of a sudden, both paws on the back of on his shoulders, he turns around and there's a fucking gorilla.
Right.
And he screams, and the next thing you see is the fucking same bush shaking.
I remember that scene. I love that. I love that movie, honestly. Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls is a fucking great movie.
Because the end scene where the bad guy's getting, fucked by a gorilla, it's playing a Weembo Wep, a Weembo Wep, a Weembo Wep.
I believe that it's as similar as mate. Oh my god. The one where the guy in the gorilla suit got left in it. It was oh my god, it's from the 90s.
George of the Jungle?
No. Welcome to America, Made in America. It was the one where they had fun with the orange sales in the stock market, where the one guy lost his job.
Oh, Trading Place. Trading Places.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end, you get a male and a guy in a gorilla suit locked in the cage with the other one.
Yes.
It's like,
it has been so long since I've seen that movie, I forgot about that.
And all you see is the guy going, because they
duct taped his mouth too.
So it's like all you hear is the movie.
Oh man, that movie! I love that movie. Is just along the same era as the movie. What was it? What was the one with Richard Pryor?
Which one?
The one where Brewster's Millions.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So I have a bit of useless trivia for you about Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Oh.
You remember the part where he is driving the car on the way to the consulate's office first time?
Yes.
And they take the shortcut through the fucking jungle, and he starts singing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
That was entirely 100%. Yes.
Because Jim Carrey forgot his lines. So he just starts singing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang while driving the car through the jungle. And the other dude's fucking reaction is genuine because there was supposed to be dialogue, and all of a sudden, Jim Carrey singing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
And the director loved it, right?
Yeah.
That's when you know you're dealing with a true comedian, because they can turn their whoops into great scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jim Carrey does it all the time. Like when he was.
Other ones do it too, though. Like Mike Myers.
Mike Myers does it. Jim Carrey did it. Fucking Bill Murray is known for it.
Constantly.
Well, so the original Ghostbusters, every single scene had ad-libbed lines because Bill Murray would not stick to the script. He would just say whatever he wanted.
Of course. Sounds like Bill Murray.
Yeah, but oh shit, who's the other big one that was big into doing that? Oh, Robin Williams.
Yes.
Oh god, half the genie's lines were his. And the best part was, the director just looked at him and said, do it.
Just do whatever.
Genius.
I think it was Mrs. Doubtfire. They threw away Robin Williams' fucking script.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't stay on track, and half of the shit he was saying was funnier than the shit that was in the script.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like, fuck it. Like the whole line that "Help is on the way, dear," and he fucking just hurtles over the table. That wasn't part of the script.
He just went for
Was
it.
there anything that was part of the script?
Huh?
Was there anything part of the script?
No, literally. So like,
No, so
Robin-
the entire movie was him ad-libbing it.
yeah, because they literally took his script after the first day of shooting and said, "Fuck it, this is funnier."
And the
and
best,
just let him loose.
Yep. And one of the best thing is one of my favorite scenes, when his wife finds out that he was Mrs. Doubtfire the entire time. That scene was also ad-libbed. So that when she said the whole time, the whole time, that was just her going for it.
Yeah.
Because from what I remember, he was also really good at encouraging others to do it too.
Very much so.
Oh yeah, I mean, the 2 child actors that were in the film with him, the 3 of them, actually all 3 of them, they had the best time with him because he helped them in so many ways, just in their career.
Yep. Do you know Lost in Space, the original one?
The original, yeah.
Wait, which
I
original
never
one?
watched-
Do you
I
mean
never-
like
I never
black
watched
and
the
white
original.
era?
The Lost in Space one with oh my god, he was also in Babylon 5. He played Lanier. He played Will Robinson.
Are you talking
also
about
played
the
Lanier.
Lost in
He's talking
Space
about
that had what's that dude from
Robot.
Friends as the captain?
No, not the damn movie. The freaking TV show from the 50s.
So
Yeah.
the black and white one.
The black and white one.
No, it wasn't. It was
They're
in
not-
color.
Was that
At
the
least they
50s?
retrofitted it into color.
Yeah,
that
it was
was in the
originally
50s.
in
They-
black and
they-
white, and it came out in Technicolor later on. But it was originally black and white.
Yeah.
Okay, that one. The guy who played Mr. Smith and the guy who played Bill Murray, the guy who played Will Robinson, wrote all of their lines together. And the director just stopped interfering because they literally propped that show up for multiple seasons because the scenes, like him and the kid, would work together. Like he took him under his wing, helped him. I mean, he was actually the guy who played Will Robinson was the one who was talking about it in an interview. And he said that it helped him so much because this veteran, great actor literally sat there and worked with him. He wanted to hear his ideas. He wanted to hear how he thought it should go. And he explained why, whether it was a good or a bad idea.
Yeah.
And these two spent every night fixing the script for the following day.
And
Sounds
that's how,
about right.
yeah, that's
And
how
the
you nurture
director
that
was-
creativity.
And you always can tell the good directors when they know when to apply when they know how to steer and when they know how to let go.
Yep. All right. I do hate to say this, but I need to take a quick break because I gotta piss.
Fine.
What? I gotta pee,
Go with
dude.
the flow.
Should
Go
have
with
done
the
that.
flow.
Giggity.
Alrighty then, everybody. We will be right back. I just gotta go pee. I'm gonna take care of my dogs real quickly and all of that. But the Goofs are taking a quick break.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Audacia. My better half and I have a FlossTube channel, which is a podcast about needlepoint crafting, over on YouTube called The Slovak Farm. I also stream live on Twitch Saturdays and Sundays, and during the afternoon playing various games that fit my fancy.
Well, hey everybody! Did you know that Agent Fasha Gamer has a Patreon?
That's right, and Random Skull is here to help tell you about it.
And that's right, we're doing this announcement together!
And when you subscribe to Patreon, you get to see content early, and of course, make requests for content on YouTube, and even on Twitch and TikTok. It's all up to you!
And of course, if you want to support Agent Fasha Gamer, check out these links! And of course, there are also links in the link tree!
And remember, when you subscribe to Patreon, you can also leave a message saying that Random Skull is better than Mr. Announcer.
Now, was that even really necessary?
Hey everyone, I'm Caleb, or as you know me as Hey I'm Chef. I am a somewhat content creator. I've kind of taken a break on making the actual content and just doing stuff here with Alan or Asian Fasha Gamer. We have Monday, Bunch of Goofs, the livecast podcast that him, Oda, and myself do. And every other Friday, we have the D&Deuce, a D&D podcast that we are putting together. So if you want to see this face on anything right now, it's with Alan's stuff, or you can follow me on all my socials at hey_I'm_chef. Until then, I will see you guys later. Have fun with the content. Peace.
Alrighty then, we are back. Apologies for that break, but thank you all so much for being here and your patience.
Lies. He doesn't like us.
Oh, shut up.
Never. You can't make me.
Brr.
Actually, I think he can perma-mute you. He owns the server.
But, oh god. You know, I just realized I, have a lot of editing that
Herpes.
I still need to do. No, I don't have herpes. Shut up. You son of a bitch. Yeah.
Open it up. Watch what happens.
But I did at least finally
Maybe.
get caught up on highlights, and I'm regularly posting highlights now.
I've noticed.
Mm-hmm. When I see him, I like him.
Which I appreciate.
I usually don't comment because I'm usually scrolling through TikTok waiting for an automated program.
I tend to view them if I can catch them, but the problem is like I use TikTok as more of like a messaging app during the day while I'm at work.
Mhm.
So, and I have shit signal. So I'll open up TikTok, it'll pop up the little bar that says you posted a video. But if I was to click on that video or click on that link or pop up whatever, it would take me to a loading screen.
Yeah.
So like the only time I can watch TikToks or any videos or shit half the time listen to fucking any of the D&D podcasts and or music that I listen to is when I go for break because the break room is within the radius of the fucking Wi-Fi, or if I go to the bathroom and take a shit, basically just go in the bathroom and sit in the bathroom until I get tired of being in there.
Yeah.
Because it's close enough. It's closer to the router than the fucking break room.
As long as it works, right? Shit.
Yeah.
I actually had to explain to my wife what the term shadow banning means.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying because right now my TikTok's kind of like recovering from some bullshit. Because you can see, actually, you probably can't see, but I can see directly, like, last
You
week.
can't see your view numbers.
Yeah, last week from Monday till Thursday almost, my views were throttled to just 50 to 20. And then it started to ramp up back to 100 and such like that. Although this week it's still kind of having some trouble. But honestly...
Well, didn't you get reported like a week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, by some little sad bitch.
That's why.
Yeah.
All of your matching energy with trolls and all the times that they report you is what ends up getting you shut up.
Okay, I actually have a counter to that. A creator that I watch on TikTok, I cannot remember her name. She does like escapism, fantasy stuff. She has like her own tavern type thing as an elf. That's her main thing she does.
Does she do videos with the dude with like
No, it's usually just herself.
Okay, so it's not the chick that's with Quincy.
No, but she actually called herself a weirdo, and TikTok deleted the post, the comments, saying it violated the terms and use, and shadow banned her for calling herself a weirdo.
Oh, it's okay. It blocked a message I was sending to Alan because it had the word "stupid" in it.
I know. My God, it's getting ridiculous.
That was literally the only word that I could see.
For a reason.
Yeah. But that's also the main reason why I don't focus too much on TikTok. I just use TikTok as outreach. Right now, my main focus is in my YouTube and my my Twitch, as well as, of course, my merch store, which I just finished everything for. All I'm waiting for is the samples to come in so that I can actually do my promo for it.
I'll give you some samples.
Fuck you.
I'll give you a.
That's what I'm talking
promo.
about.
Yeah, because I even get because I already got my water bottle. You know, the always disrespect your trolls water bottle. Oh God.
Yeah. Hey, Discord. Just use Discord. There's a reason why I message most people on Discord. It's because I don't want to deal with the crap.
Yeah.
And I'm not letting Discord give me crap.
Well, if there's a message that doesn't get sent because of some stupid word or whatever, I either take a screenshot of it or I just copy the message down and go to Discord or
Yeah.
a text message.
It just makes it easier, honestly, on Discord because there's not as many. You don't have to deal with the stupid ass restrictions.
Yeah, because it's also a lot easier to just deal with people. You guys should get rid of people.
You can get rid of people on TikTok.
Yeah.
No, they can make another account and keep bothering you.
I mean, they could.
What's to stop them from doing that on Discord?
Because I have it blocked, or if you're not in a mutual server or on my friends list, you can't send me a message.
Oh, that's a setting that you have. Not everybody has that.
That's the default setting. I
Yeah.
never changed it. That's the default setting. Is people who share a server and people on your friends list are the only people who can DM you. Why do you think so many people join the server, then start DMing their advertisements in the Discord server?
Stuff and reasons.
Stuff and reasons, and because they're stupid. But that's also a main thing is they don't really get a chance to do that often because I get rid of them pretty quickly.
I mean, that was the first time you and I spoke directly. Was me going, hey, this moron just DM'd me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's like the weirdest interaction I have ever had with somebody.
And
I don't know. I mean, the first time Alan and I talked was on Twitter.
It's true,
on
but we were
Twitter.
talking about Century, weren't we?
No, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Hmm.
Yeah, I found Faja because of the fact that I like Digimon.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions.
Oh, random thing, not to do with Digimon, but I have some other gaming news that's like important, but it's not important for the exact same reason why it happened. Blizzard canceled BlizzCon 2024.
Oh yeah. I saw that news last month. I had a conversation with somebody about it, and we were both laughing about it.
I don't know. I guess
This specific person didn't know about the drama going on with Blizzard, and
Oh,
also didn't know about the fact that Activision and Blizzard were bought by Microsoft.
I mean, there's a lot of things that people probably don't know that they should. Google's a wonderful thing, and yet no one uses it.
What's Google?
Well, in all honesty, I haven't cared about Blizzard in 6 or 7 years now.
I mean, the only reason I care about Blizzard is the fact that I don't support them. And that's really about it. Thanks to Bobby Kotick and his dumb shit.
Oh no, even without their dumb shit, they haven't made a good product since the end of StarCraft 2.
I will argue that Overwatch won.
Okay, I'm not a fan of that style of game.
Didn't Overwatch 1 come out like during the same release as part 1 of StarCraft 2?
I think it was actually around I think it was. It came out the same time as Nova.
No,
No,
Overwatch 1 came out long after.
Okay.
Hold on.
Google. Hey,
Google.
I'll do StarCraft. You do Overwatch.
Huh? Oh, man. You know, honestly, the funny thing is, I actually used to play Overwatch. That was one of the things that I gained traction with in the beginning on Twitch, back in the day.
Same. I played Overwatch 2 when it first came out.
When did Overwatch come out?
May 3rd, 2016.
Excuse me.
StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm came out in 2016. Actually, no, Legacy of the Void. This one's wrong. Yeah. Legacy and Void 2015, and I think the Nova stuff came out in later than that.
Okay. So yeah,
See,
Overwatch is younger than StarCraft 2.
I bought Overwatch twice and did not play it a single fucking time. I bought it to play with my nephew, and then I bought it to play on PC with some friends, and they never played it if it wasn't ranked. So I never played with them, and my nephew went from Overwatch to Mortal Kombat
Pretty quickly.
and yeah, and then Overwatch 2 came out and it was free to play. So I was like, fuck it. If it's free, I will fucking play it. And it was fun. I was really good at it. I was an amazing fucking Reinhardt. Like, big tanky with a fucking shield. Oh, dude, I was fucking great with it. And then they came out with they released that they were, everybody was already pissed off about the fact that the skins were $20 a pop.
Mm.
And then they came out with the fact that they were going to release skins that gave you player buffs or character buffs in game. And that's when I was like, nope, fuck it, I'm done with Overwatch.
Pay to win, run.
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit.
The problem is right around the time that Overwatch 2 came out, and they started and they released the store with $20 per skin. And then the actual skins that gave you buffs and were just cosmetic was roughly around the time that the lawsuits started happening. So they had to pay. They had to pay for the lawsuits.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
No, when it came down to it, I was a Lucio main in Overwatch. I mean, I was pretty much a support main for Overwatch, and I played that shit a lot. I even got up to... almost got up to Platinum, I think. But I only played Overwatch 1. I actually stopped playing Overwatch because of all of the shit that was going on, that was coming out from my friends letting me know, the lawsuits that were going on because of how they were treating their employees.
So, as much as I agree with the fact that, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, as much as I agree that everything that Blizzard did was completely fucked up, tell me a company right now that doesn't do fucked up things with fucked up practices in some way, fashion, somewhere.
True, but in those companies don't have a personal friend who was affected by this.
No, I get it. I get why you don't do it.
Yeah.
I just don't I don't play Blizzard games anymore because they went from being good games to, hey, we're going to let you buy all your shit to be good.
Actually, the thing is, for me, I loved older Blizzard games because of the story.
Mm-hmm.
They had so many good stories.
Yeah, and Overwatch doesn't have a
I'm
story.
pretty sure they.
Well, Overwatch
hired
1, they were
every
building
single
one.
Person.
Yeah. I mean, Oda, what old Blizzard games did you play? Because I know the old WoW storylines were fucking epic.
World of Warcraft, Warcraft 3, StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2.
I always forget that Warcraft 3 is a Blizzard game for some reason, which is stupid because World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Warcraft 3 is the birthplace of Dota. It's
Exactly.
the birthplace of those style games. Those games, like League of Legends system, the item system is based upon Warcraft 3's item system.
Well, League of Legends actually, just like Dota, started off as a mod for Warcraft 3.
Yeah, Warcraft 3 is the base. I knew it was the base for like League and Dota and all that fun shit. I just continuously forget for some reason that it's a fucking Blizzard game.
Yeah, I mean,
And
hell,
what's really
Warcraft 3
funny
started
is-
off as orcs and, what is it? Orcs versus humans.
Yeah, that was Warcraft 1. And what's really funny is, it took Blizzard, in their infinite stupidity, a decade to get into the genre they started.
What do you
Yep.
mean?
It took them over a decade to come out with Heroes.
Yeah.
what kind of moron has this egg? They could have literally just sat there and went, okay, we're releasing Warcraft 3, just release based upon their own engine, their own product, using their own characters, and made a Dota style game with it. And it would have sold like hotcakes.
Yeah, it would have, but you also have
'cause
to
that was back in
remember.
the era.
Oh, yeah,
I was just gonna say that was back in the era of good gaming.
yeah. But
Let's
They
be
didn't-
honest, gaming now sucks.
yeah, but back in the day, it was also during that period, like between Warcraft 3 and the release of WoW, it was when the company was going through a lot of changes. I mean, they lost their original art team. Well, they fired their original art team because they were fucking stupid. They lost their original storyboarding team because they fired their original art team. And then they brought in a bunch of new people to start building off the story that was already established. And of course, as people do, putting their own ego into it, wanting to change the story to be, oh, it's my story now. And that's kind
I
of
mean, perfect. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but that's how we ended up with Cataclysm going into Pandaria. Ugh, fuck that shit.
I mean, perfect example of like new people coming in and putting their own spin on stories. Not talking about movies, because don't even get me started on like the fucking Marvel movies and all that shit, or any comic book movie, or any video game movie, or any anime turd movie. But fucking Halo.
Yes, that is a good example.
When Bungie split from Microsoft, the original programmers and coders and everybody that worked on Halo 1 through 3 and ODST and Reach, they formed 343 Studios, and they didn't want to leave Microsoft because it was a guaranteed check on a game that they've already poured their time and effort into and created this massive franchise with. But Microsoft went, and then they all ended up started fucking leaving, and then they got new people in, and that's how you end up with Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Infinite. Halo 4 wasn't bad because it was 50-50 on the old developers and the new developers. Halo 5 was fucking horrible because they took the original fucking story and went, yeah, fuck it. And then Infinite, I still haven't even finished. And I've played every fucking Halo multiple times from Combat Evolved all the way up to Infinite.
I think that's mainly, for me personally, I haven't finished Infinite either, and it's mainly because for me, Infinite just seems like it got boring. It got boring really fast. And I don't know what it was about it, but it just didn't do too well.
Last one I played.
Was 3?
I mean, 3 was the best. 3 was the best in my opinion.
Yeah, what's really funny is that the same thing you guys are talking about, I stopped playing World of Warcraft because it literally took me a weekend to finish the story for Mists of Pandaria when it first launched.
Well,
So
I
I
mean,
just stopped. I was
yeah.
like, no.
For MMOs, that's fucking horrible. But for like a console game like Halo, that's actually pretty long.
Two different subjects, but
Yeah,
for
exactly.
an MMO, it shouldn't be that fast.
No.
And it
No.
wasn't, and I don't play that much.
Yeah.
Like, I actually slept and ate.
Like I said, that was during the
Well,
period where they
shit.
started getting new writers in that didn't give a shit.
And then, as Chef was saying, I tried looking into 4. It didn't feel right.
For which 4?
Halo 4.
Halo 4?
Halo 4.
Halo 4
That's-
Halo 4 wasn't horrible. That's when they changed the multiplayer to a more COD style, which was kind of fucking stupid, in my opinion. And then the story wasn't bad, but it wasn't 3.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
I
don't
could
know.
tell, like, the quality from Cata to Mists tanked. The quality from 3 to 4 is definitely a drop.
Yeah, and then 5.
I didn't
5 just
realize
went-
why. I just stopped.
I mean, I can honestly say for number 4, my biggest problem of the story was its pacing. It was so fucking chaotic.
The pacing was horrible.
Why? Why would you do that in the game? There were so many pieces you skipped over that we just fucking needed to see, and then you gave us things that we didn't need to see.
Yeah, we didn't need the entire backstory and life story of fucking Halsey and John.
No one cared.
Yes, explain it a little bit, but you don't have to go and explain fucking every single goddamn year.
Put that in a book, not in the game.
I mean, the big reveal for 4 was the fact that Cortana was a carbon copy AI of Halsey.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big fucking thing that should have been center stage, but instead, no, it was this mom and son fucking drama of Halsey and John.
Also, I think if they ended it with 3, it would have been a great story.
Yes.
3 was a great ending.
What they should have done was do more games like Reach, which were prequels, or do, as much as I hate the game, the concept was really good, and plus it also introduced us to Nathan Fillion's character Buck. But if they would have done more ODST games.
Okay.
You know what? There's a really simple way we could have done it. A really fracking simple way where they could have revealed it at the end, and it would have been a great story hook. It's John. It's the same Spartan, and at the end you realize you come across a corpse in his armor. He's a clone. That would have been better storyline. I'm not saying it's a good storyline. I'm not a writer for a reason, but I think that would have been better than what we got.
They should have just stopped John's story after 3. The way
that was
they
kind of my point with the clone.
Well, that's the thing. So with Reach, that was the other Spartans that they made after John.
Yeah.
So you could have continued more Halos with other Spartans, but they really should have ended Cortana and John's story the way they ended 3.
But
the thing is, I didn't like the rampancy, whatever the frack that was called.
That was in 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because guess what? That makes no sense.
So the whole thing behind that is, so the AIs are all based off of actual people, and they degrade after so long. Cortana was twice as old as she should have been, if I remember right. I think she had double the lifespan because she was an exact carbon copy of Halsey.
I'm just saying, as somebody who knows a little bit about, I think that's just a little okay.
Well, I mean, it's also set how many thousands of or hundreds of years in the future.
Yeah.
Where
I
you know,
I think it would have been like one thing they could have done is kept Cortana and had her be like, oh, so you're my new Spartan.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Chef that they should have ended Cortana and John's story there and moved on to the other Spartans. And the only reason that they didn't was because when they launched 4 and they continued on, they just wanted to hold on to the nostalgia of John Spartan.
Yeah. Well, because it was 50-50 with the new developers and old developers. It was the first game that wasn't Bungie.
Yeah.
So they were trying to make a splash, and they were trying to bring back the original players with using the same characters.
Which I get, but I mean, they should have realized how effective Reach was. Because people
didn't
loved
have anything
it.
to do with Cortana or John.
I know, but people loved it, and that would have that should have been an eye opener right there to expand the story.
Oda, did you ever play Reach?
Oh, good. For a second there, I thought Oda was frozen.
Right. Do you know what Halo Reach is?
Okay, I've seen the game movie of it.
Okay, yeah. So there was
basically the same plot line as Rogue One.
Essentially, yeah.
Shit, I didn't think about it like that. That makes sense.
I know, right?
Background characters, and we never heard of them because they all died.
Fuck.
No, only one died. Only one died.
Yeah.
Okay.
Noble 6 died.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone
I
else
understand, but
actually
I suppose
escaped,
everyone.
right?
Yeah, Noble 6 sacrificed himself, holding them off last stand style, like fucking, Lord of the Rings type shit.
Mm-hmm.
While they were all
Like
boss.
Boromir?
Yeah, basically. And the cool thing about that scene is as you take damage, your visor that you're looking through visibly starts taking damage. So, like, you are looking through more and more cracks in everything as your health drops. As your shields recharge and then come back and then drop again, you get another crack. Same thing over and over and over again until you just can't hold out anymore. And then you die. Like, your character dies. As far as they know. So, I saw a fan-made thing that would have been fucking epic. It would have been an amazing game. They basically, the reason they lose contact with Noble 6 is because his helmet gets destroyed. And, like, the comm system and everything in it gets fucked up. But Noble 6 ends up living and becomes the ghost of Reach. Basically, guerrilla warfare against the Covenant and shit that are occupying Reach.
Okay. What's really
That would have
funny?
been fucking cool.
I know, right?
Hey, Faja, you've played Honest Hearts and Fallout New Vegas, right?
Yes.
I'm in the game right now dealing with the survivalist stuff.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh wait a
And
minute.
that's the exact. It's the background story. It's the exact same as what he just said. It's a guy from the shadows who literally, for 11 months, terrorized these people until the fact they actually said, "We thought it was a man, but now we believe it is an evil spirit."
There's actually multiple stories that are like that. Raul the Ghoul.
Oh, yeah, there's tons. Yeah.
He was the ghost of New Mexico until he left. And this was before he fell to becoming a ghoul. And this was almost 200 years before you meet him.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's a common trope that's used in all sorts of media and everything.
True.
But if 343 would have made that game, it would have been fucking epic. Him, Noble 6 fucking, guerrilla warfare against the Covenant as they're occupying Reach, using their weapons caches and any sort of USMC stuff that he could find. Fucking.
And you want to know the great way they could have started the game? He finds a new helmet, and when you don't have any overlay, and then he finds a helmet, puts it on, you have your overlay back, but it's not his, so he doesn't have the frequencies to contact anyone, but he has the overlay for the gameplay.
I mean, the way I would start that game if I was making it is fucking cut back to him on the platform as the Pelican's taking off, and fucking as he dies, he gets knocked off the fucking platform.
Oh no, I would have done that in the cutscene, but the first mission, like I would have done cutscene showing like scenes of him doing that, but when he gets the helmet and you have the video game overlay again, that's where we pick back up.
Well, that's the thing. As your helmet gets damaged, you still have your overlay.
Yeah.
It's just literally the so in the fan made thing that I saw, he still has the cracked ass visor and damaged armor, which was what made it cool.
See, I think, like, for me personally, the thing that would make sense would be eventually, because the helmet's still cracked, he'd discard it. We wouldn't be able to see his face. But he would find an ODST helmet, because that would be the only thing that would make sense. You wouldn't find a Spartan helmet. That wouldn't make any sense.
No, I didn't mean Spartan helmet. I just meant a helmet.
Didn't one of the Spartans die in Reach?
Yes.
In one of the earlier episodes?
Yes.
The earlier missions?
It's the one with it's the heavy. The heavy.
No, I thought it was Kat, the sniper with the robotic arm.
It might have been her.
Sniped.
Oh right, she was the first one. She gets shot, and then you see her fall off of the helicopter, right?
Off the top of the building, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. She got hit by a jackal with the beam rifle.
Oh yeah, gotta love trying to theorize. Game.
You cut out.
Yeah, you cut out right there.
I
Damn.
gotta like theorize. I love it when you can theorize how they could have not screwed things up. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's the Pandera.
Oh my god.
What? Like, it was an okay concept.
So
But by the grace of the good Lord, can we get some more stuff to do? They broke it up so much.
as someone who never really played WoW, like I played it a little bit, but not much. Fucking the panda expansion. All I can think about, because it came out roughly around the same time as the first Kung Fu Panda.
What's funny is the Pandarans are actually from Warcraft 3.
You want to know why it took them so long to actually put Pandarans into the game?
China?
Yes! They had to work through a lawsuit with China that was already in play due to them adding Pandarians to Warcraft 3 without their permission. And it wasn't until Paramount actually DreamWorks created their contract with China to allow for Kung Fu Panda to be released that they got the actual okay.
Well, that's
So
the thing.
for that reason.
Yes! But the thing that sucked about Mr. Pandaria is that it was such a missed opportunity. There was so much lore that they had in Warcraft 3 that they established for the Pandarans that they just shat the bed with. Why?
Okay, also, one thing I've always disliked about Warcraft, World of Warcraft, we're friends, we're enemies. We're friends, we're enemies. This is not normal.
I mean, it kind of
I don't
is.
know,
Look
I
at
mean-
Russia and America.
It doesn't happen over the span of it doesn't switch back and forth 3 times in a year.
Well, to be fair, the way that the expansions were supposed to go is that each expansion was a decade past.
They never said that.
Never said that,
never-
but that's essentially what it was supposed to be. That's why there was such drastic changes to the map at times.
And the thing is, one of the main reason why that makes no sense, humans are a playable race.
Yeah?
After 20 years, what human's gonna have the physical strength to keep doing this?
Magical
I
humans?
don't know. I mean, Tom Brady played
Not
football.
magical.
They are magical.
Tom Brady-
Fighters have- no,
Tom Brady
fighters
played
have no
football for
magic.
20-something years.
It's true. But the
But actually-
humans are magical in Warcraft universe. Yes, they are.
Just
Not-
like how humans are Pokemon in Pokemon.
Which is true. They actually established that.
because all life came from Dialga.
No. They all came from what's the name? The one that looks like a deer and is a time god.
Arceus?
Arceus, yes. Everything came from Arceus.
For Officer Jenny.
What'd you say, Oda?
Master Balls for Officer Jenny.
Because we're not Brock.
No! Have her, Officer Jenny, suspect, Master Ball, he's been arrested.
Well, they only ever made one Master Ball.
Or just Pokeball the people.
Okay, this
I mean,
isn't Pal.
literally-
Because they didn't
This
want to
isn't
make
Pal
Pal World. That's why.
If humans are Pokemon, then the Pokeballs would work on the people. Which means you're giving 10-year-olds mentioned defensors.
See,
Yeah.
the thing is, they just never did it. It's one of those things that it's like one of those things that you never do because you never assume to think about it. But there actually is, in the manga, an instance where a person is in a Pokeball.
How much therapy they need after that?
I forget the story on that.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was an experimentation. There was 2 instances. One that they talked about, which is when you learn that Professor Oak and Professor Elm are fucked up people because they both experimented on putting people in Pokeballs, and they talked about it.
Well, first off, who wouldn't get this thing? And it's like, you could put Pokemon in it. Wait, aren't humans descended from Pokemon? Yeah. Dude, I wonder what happens.
I bet you anything they got drunk, and that's how that conversation went. It's like, dude, let's do it.
They probably tried to put each other in
this
it.
goes. Alan, I choose you.
And I'm just gonna be, I was like,
They
what
both-
the fuck? Dude, I was just sitting down and I was having a coffee. Now I'm here. What's going on?
I bet you anything that drunk conversation went, dude, we should, if people are descendants from Pokemon, we should try putting people in a Pokeball. Dude, I will do it to you if you do it to me. Fuck that, if something goes wrong, I don't want to fucking die. Let's go find some kid from, the back lot.
Oh, that's so fucked up.
You know what happened to my family? My brother and his friend be having that, and like, hey Joe, come here. What?
And then, they got drunk and then they called Bill and be like, hey, we got this person in a Pokeball. Can we transport it? And there we have the beginning to the fly.
Oh no! Actually, it'd probably be even better. They grab the wrong Pokeball when they see an Onix. Why am I here? Why is it an Onix?
Oh fuck!
Joe, you push yourself to. I already have.
Even worse than an Onyx, fucking a Magmar. Those things fucking make volcanoes as they walk.
God damn.
I'm sorry. I don't care. If you put me in a battle with Pikachu, I am crapping myself.
I mean, let's just state this in all honesty, because when you read the Pokédex, you think about these things that these Pokemon can do. The world and the people, obviously because they're Pokemon, that live in the Pokemon universe are something else. Because there are abilities that those Pokemon have that should be able to destroy the entire world.
Well, shit, Haunter has one of the most fucked up Pokédex entries. I think it was in, Generation 2.
I thought it was Hypno.
Hypnos is bad.
Hypnos is really bad, but Haunters was really fucked up.
Haunters in Generation, I think it was 2.
Yes, it was in Gen 2 that got really dark.
Yeah, it was, really bad. But shit, there's the other one in Generation 4?
Are you talking about... Oh, Pumpkaboo.
The one that is a ghost lantern and leads kids off into the forest and devours their souls or some shit.
Yeah. There's also Drifloom that is, it acts like a balloon and then it kidnaps children and takes them into the stratosphere to eat them.
Yeah.
You want to know something? This is me being an electrical technician, and I know how much energy it takes to make a very thin line of voltage jump this far.
Mm-hmm.
Do you even want to comprehend the amount of electrical energy has to be going through that goddamn mouse to literally fill a stadium with electricity?
Well, hence the reason the moves are called Thunder Shock, Thunder, and Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
No, that isn't Lightning Bolt. That's all of the lightning from a hurricane in a stadium.
I don't know. Have you seen that new video that's going across the internet right now from Greece with the active volcano?
Oh God.
People were hiking, the volcano's super far away, but it was starting to storm around the active volcano, and there's the entire fucking plume of ash coming out and everything, and then there's fucking one lightning bolt hits the plume. You see the plume light up, and then lightning just goes whoosh.
Damn.
All the way, like 15 fucking lightning strikes.
Yeah, that is. Do you know what one lightning strike does to a person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Direct hit.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are movies about this.
Now imagine a few thousand of them coming out of a mouse.
I know.
And those regularly hit Ash on a daily basis.
Well, shit. Ash also.
God.
Yeah.
Ash also fucking picked up an entire log and threw it at Mewtwo.
He also
threw it.
No, Ash also just literally casually held onto a neutron star in his hands.
Yeah.
Also, Charizard is canonically capable of melting rock.
Mm-hmm.
Melting, not heating, melting rock. That is thousands of degrees, and he blasts Ash all the time.
And he's fine.
He's also not a fucking dragon, which is a little bullshit. It's the most dragon-looking fucking Pokemon. He's not a goddamn dragon.
You know the reason why they did that, right?
No.
It's an inside joke between the creator of Pokemon and the CEO of Game Freak to fuck with people.
But Charizard's one of my favorite Pokemon.
Oh, I know. They knew that that was gonna happen. That's why they did this, and that's why.
A dragon?
Huh?
Isn't his Mega Evolution a dragon?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like Mega X, I think.
Yeah. X.
Because only one of the Mega Evolutions is a dragon.
Because the other one is just an extra flying.
Yeah, something like that.
They have multiple types of Mega Evolutions for.
Yes,
Yeah.
God.
so
Charizard
Mega-
actually has
Mega-
two.
Oh my God.
Most Pokemon have two because they introduced Mega in X and Y.
Yeah.
So you have one Mega Evolution for the X game and one for the Y game.
I played Gen 2, okay?
Mhm.
Like, my favorite Pokemon, maybe because of the fact that at the time this came out, I was kind of like that socially awkward teenager in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I love Magikarp.
Okay, never mind.
It because
Gyarados
it's
is
this
fucking
socially awkward little thing, it's this little unassuming thing, and then when it reaches its full potential, it's a goddamn dragon that's going to summon a tornado of water to suck your ass away.
Do you have any idea how happy I was?
I love that story behind it.
Do you have any idea how happy I was when they introduced the red Gyarados?
Oh man, that thing was so cool. I was so happy that that was in number 2.
I save scummed the shit out of that because I was just throwing great balls and ultra balls at that motherfucker.
And Scotty, yes, Charizard is a badass, and yes, the original 150, fucking love them.
Look her up.
Yep. I will say this, the story of Magikarp into Gyarados is actually part of Japanese lore.
Yes.
That would surprise me.
Yeah, it's actually there's a story in Japanese mythology that speaks of a koi fish that ascends up a waterfall up the divine mountain, and once it reaches the top beyond the divine gates of the gods, it actually becomes a dragon, having traversed and gone through adversity. This is also sorry.
I was gonna say that's also why Magikarp is usually the first water Pokemon that you can get. And there's a reason the first HM is either Waterfall or Surf.
Yep.
Well, no, Surf is later on in the game, but Waterfall is the first HM that you can get in Gen 1 and 2. Or Gen 2.
Gen 2, yeah. Waterfall wasn't introduced until 2.
Yeah.
And I will say, I actually, as soon as I got a fishing pole, I got me a Magikarp, and then I literally trained that SOB up.
Oh, yeah. The moment I knew Gyarados was a thing, I wanted that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I loved it because I was like, why? It's like, because this is literally how I am. Why are you battling with this useless Pokemon? Why are you battling with this useless? Hi, you remember Splashy? You guys were picking on? Yeah, Splashy!
So
that's bigger than my dad's car.
The super funny thing about the move Splash, it is actually the most powerful move in the Pokemon games. The only problem is that it is a 0.001% chance to hit.
So it's the drop rate of items in Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or Grendel Prime for Alan.
Fuck you. All right. Before we continue on, because I've been holding it, I gotta piss again. So we're gonna take a quick break. I appreciate y'all for being here, but I'm gonna keep talking about Pokemon.
Gross.
Because one, I'm glad that we can talk about Pokemon without a certain somebody making it a bad conversation. And two, I love Pokemon. So I will be back. Need to go to the bathroom.
I had an idea. What is your starting lineups? If you had a dream team, 6 Pokemon, what would it be?
It depends.
Knocked out.
I mean, it depends. Are we talking any generation? Are we talking going against the Elite Four? Are we talking about just trying to get all the badges? I mean, what we talking about?
If you could have any 6 Pokemon IRL, which ones would they be?
I mean, I already know what my team is, but I want to hear Chef's first.
Charizard, Gyarados, Zapdos, or Raikou, the legendary lightning dog from Gen 2. That's fire, water, electric. Golem. I would love to have a fucking badass Haunter, but unfortunately Gengar is more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dragonite.
Okay.
I'm mostly 151. Or, sorry, not Gengar. I'm a dumbass. Mew.
All right.
I prefer Mew over Mewtwo, but 151 is where my heart is.
Gotcha. Well, what about you, Oda?
Well, it's gonna be really similar to his. I'm gonna have Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos.
Okay.
Because I didn't have any friends, Kadabra. Because I didn't have any friends, Graveler. And Gyarados.
Okay.
And if you know, you know.
Yeah. I mean, as far as legendary Pokemon go, I love, what is it, Kyogre and Groudon from Sapphire and Ruby.
Right on.
I don't know. I mean, the legendary birds, as much as I love them, they can be countered so fucking easily. Especially, like, so in like Gen 2 and Gen 3, Articuno got super fucking weak.
I was just thinking I want to have 3 really cool birds in my house.
First off, they are way too big to be in your house.
Yeah.
Okay, on my house.
They might crush your house. You gotta remember, they had an entire fucking islands to themselves.
And they're huge. Now also,
Make work to breeze.
Huh?
Make getting work to breeze on a Zapdos
No
with
shit.
its speed stat.
true.
Yeah, just don't go through any static electricity.
So I've got 2 different teams. So if I were to do my teams without any legendaries, it would be Salamence, who's one of my favorites. Garchomp. There would be Dragapult.
Don't know that one.
Ghost Dragon.
Nah.
It would be, where is it? Appleton. It's one of the newer ones.
Yeah, I know.
And I always say their name wrong, but Dragalig.
Ooh, you know another one that would be good to add in there too? Like, for either of us, or any of us, is Tyranitar.
Ooh, yes.
Tyranitar is a fucking beast. And,
Oh, if we're doing a non-legendary list, I don't know what mine's gonna be. Replace the birds with the doggies.
Wait, what doggies?
Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon.
Ah.
ooh. I know we're talking Pokemon lists, but there is a very messed up fucking fan theory about that links the Pokemon Oda just talked about and the 3 legendary dogs in Gold and Silver. And
Yes.
Crystal.
Which is the fact that the 3 legendary dogs are rebirths of those 3 particular Pokemon that died in the tower.
In the burnt tower.
Mm-hmm.
Which back then was just the tower.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know something that would have been really cool if they added it in there? If those 3 could evolve into the legendaries at like level 100.
The problem with that is like they were literally those Pokemon that were brought back by, was it Ho-Oh's magic or was it Lugia's?
It was Ho-Oh. Lugia's the
Yeah.
one that douse the tower and stop the flames from actually taking over the entire town.
Yeah, and Ho-Oh found them dead and brought them back. So they couldn't take their original form anymore.
Yeah. And Shy Guy, the reason, like, my team is literally all dragons, but because thanks to the new Pokemon that were added in throughout the different generations, I have ways of dealing with fairy types or any holes that are there. One of which is the fact that I can deal with fairies with Dragoleg because Dragoleg is a poison type.
You know another badass like tank style Pokemon that would be good to add to a team?
What would be that?
Fucking Metagross.
Ooh, Metagross, yes.
I hated that motherfucker.
You want to know one of my favorite Pokemon that they added an evolution for? Steelix.
Steelix?
Yeah, Onyx's evolution.
Yeah. Fucking.
I don't know if it's any good in the game, but it looks badass.
It is good in the game. The only downfall to Steel type Pokemon is they are super fucking weak to fire. And
ice.
What?
No, ice came.
That makes sense.
Ice came later.
Right.
Ice came after Generation 2.
Yeah,
but the original weakness was fire.
and still is.
I think they downgraded the effectiveness of fire to steel types, or they just countered it with secondary types. I can't remember.
They countered it with
fire-
secondary types, but fire is still, if I remember correctly, a ×4, whereas ice is only ×2.
Isn't he also still a ground type?
Who?
Steelix. Or
Steelix? No. When they first introduced the metal coat of arms, or the metal coat, Steelix just went straight steel type.
Then they downgraded him.
Same thing with Scyther. Scyther into Scizor went straight steel type as well.
Not steel bug.
That is a downgrade because everything that can kill a Steelix will literally be laughed at by Onyx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of why they. So, the steel type was brand new in Gen 2. They had just released it, and that's why they didn't add any other resistances or any other types to them because they wanted to find out how they were going to play.
It was also
Which
because.
they
sorry.
They were glass cannons.
Mm-hmm.
They hit hard, like harder than rock types, but their fucking weaknesses were fucking weaknesses. Like I think steel weak to fire is more weak than rock is to water.
Yep. Because rock to water is a ×3.
Yeah.
But it was also because in between Gen 1, 2, and 3, they were still experimenting and building their systems for competitive. Because it wasn't until the release of Yellow in the States before the release of Silver and Gold that the competitive scene actually grew into something.
It was starting. I don't think competitive really took off until Gen 3.
No, it was Gen 3's when they got officialized and started having like sponsors and shit. It was just the beginnings of the leagues kind of forming.
Yeah, what were you talking about, Oda?
Well, the thing is, I'm thinking about it. This is me being a science nerd.
Mm-hmm.
If steel had a weakness, it should be water and rock. Because striking a rock is a really good way of screwing up a weapon, and water causes it to rust.
Yeah, but heat causes it to change completely.
Yeah, because if you heat an alloy up to its melting point, it won't get back the same molecular structure when it cools off. It'll become something different.
Specifically with steel, you ruin the temper, and you either make it a soft metal, or what's more likely to happen is you turn it from a bendable piece of metal into a file.
That is exactly what I said.
Yeah. Now, the only thing that you really don't want to do with steel is heat it up that high and then put it in water.
Explosions.
Well, not only that, but that's how you fuck up the steel in a fucking sword or a knife or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's why.
Really good. There are still
Yeah.
people to do it, but they're really good.
Yeah, it warps the living shit out of them too, depending upon what you're making. That's why they've switched to oil tempers now.
I mean, oil quenching is just more stable.
Well, Joy
Eh.
still
Comparative to water?
and
What?
what's funny is the fact that water does that is actually done on purpose to a katana.
Old
They
time
put
katana,
clay
yeah.
on it
Oh,
in
well.
order to cause the warping, and the warping isn't because of any reason other than the back of the katana is a softer metal than the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's and that's one of like the ways they do it in a controlled way, and it's sort of.
Yeah, that's
But
an
they still
intentional
have
warp.
to use water because the oil doesn't do it right.
No.
No, because oil will keep it straight without the flex, the hard flex in the metal. So that's why they use clay and water for katana.
Mm.
Yep.
Well, for most Japanese blades, right? Because they're all curved like that.
Yep.
Yep. Well, it's a process they had to do considering the shitty iron they had.
So, have you guys seen what happens when an oil quench goes bad?
Yeah.
Which way? There's multiple examples I can think of.
When it's too hot and they dunk it in completely, and then it boils up and over, and it touches the hot part of the metal, and then fucking catches fire.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen that. I have also seen it was actually with water, I think. They put it in there and it was like laminated layered metal and it broke. Like they had 5 really thin swords.
Yeah, it delammed that bad.
Damn.
That's how you know your forge. That's how you know your forge will suck.
Yeah, and each one was as hard as a file,
Uh-huh.
which was completely not what they were going for.
Pretty much
No,
made
it's-
those absolutely useless for that part.
It was one of those contest shows, and it's because they didn't heat it right. They didn't have the type of metal they thought they had.
Mm.
Oh, was it forged in fire?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I've watched almost every episode of that show.
Yeah, and it just broke apart because it was actually metal that you can't forge weld easily.
Uh-huh. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it straight delammed almost into like a fan style. Like it was fucked. They did not make it past the first round.
That must
Because
have been terrible.
There's no way to fix that.
yeah, like they actually had water there, and some people actually did use it, but I think water's better when you have a thicker blade. Because it won't warp as easily.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, it depends upon the style of blade you're going with, the metal you're working with, and like you said, the width of the blade.
And also the skill of the person doing it.
Yeah, that's a big part too.
That's a big part.
Like, literally, it's like, why did you water? It's like, you know, water quench. He's like, yes, I know. I worked with oil until I got good, and then I started using water because I prefer the end result.
I mean, water gives you a harder temper because you're literally rapid cooling the fucking steel.
Yeah, but you just got to be careful with that because once again, it was.
Yeah, you have to be like this guy. Actually, like they were having fun. I don't know if it was this guy. I don't know if it was that guy, but it was a blacksmith. He's like, it's about 1,000 degrees. Like what? The metal's 1,000 degrees. They got an IR gun, and it was 1,000 degrees plus or minus 10 degrees. And they're like, huh? It's like the color. It's this type of steel. So this type of steel, when it's that temperature, has that glow.
I mean that show is why I fell in love with Damascus. I mean,
that show is why so many people fell in love with Damascus.
Well, my favorite, and they only showed it on the show twice, I think. What is Sharktooth Damascus?
Ah. And what's up, Beachy? Welcome to the stream. We're actually just talking about blacksmithing.
Did you guys ever see the episode with a guy called Eli? He wants to work with all something or other plays before, but he's Russian descent, but he uses Japanese tools.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Mm.
And he literally looked at everybody and was like, "You back up, and you back up, and you back up. If you get hit, not my fault." He poured water on the red hot metal and slammed it with his big A hammer, as
Yep.
it basically caused the impurities to explode.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's how he works. And they were all trying to then literally they had to stop and explain what he was doing. Like, is he no, this is actually a way to do this. It's not a popular one, but it is a way.
I mean, he knew what he
See,
was doing at least.
He
on that,
won.
yeah, he won that. He won that episode. The original 3 judges on that show were my favorite series of judges.
It was Doug.
Doug, Jay, and I cannot remember the reenactment dude's name.
Fuck.
The one that has the curved mustache, wears
Yeah.
the vest all the time.
Guy almost looks like he should be from Kentucky, but he does not talk like it.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot remember his name, but that's those were my favorite judges.
Oh hell yeah.
He will kill.
Mhm.
Or kill.
So first off, Doug is fucking hilarious. If you don't follow him on TikTok, you should, because his shit on TikTok's pretty damn funny too.
That and he's just got a fucking hilarious sense of humor. He fucks
yeah.
around so much with his family, his friends, everyone around him.
Yeah, I loved Forged in Fire, but I watched the first few seasons of it, and I was like, okay, that's a binge watching of that.
I'm
But,
guessing you got bored.
Well, the problem is that I kind of just lost interest in the premise of forcing a master into a situation that's nearly impossible for the
Well,
sake of
that's-
ratings.
I mean, that's Iron Chef.
Worse.
I mean,
they can
that's-
one up it.
That's Iron Chef. That's fucking
Chopped.
Hell's
That's,
Kitchen. Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially
look,
the premise
so
of most
that's what I
challenge
like.
style stuff.
Oh look, guess what genre I don't like to watch?
I mean, again, to each their own.
Yeah.
I like the competition style. Like that's the only reality TV show I'll watch.
Is
Or
comp
TV
style?
I'll watch. Yeah. I mean, you and I have talked about all the cooking challenge shows that I watch,
Mm-hmm.
and every single time I fucking watch one, it's like I could be doing that.
I've done it
Yeah.
once.
I'll never fucking do it.
I wasn't
one of
actually
the-
like the chef that was invited, but I did work in the kitchen while they were filming him. Was it an environment that I enjoyed? No. It is not a good environment.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's like at a certain point with those shows, I just kind of go, I know where you're going, but I think you've gotten a little too far from reality. I mean, I know why they're doing it. They need new ideas. But it's just like, you want to cook what? You want to make what? You want to do what?
I mean,
It's a lot easier with like Iron Chef, just due to the sheer insane number of ingredients out there.
Well, yeah, especially since Iron Chef is literally just 2 chefs versus each other.
Mhm.
One employed by the show and the other one a guest, and they bring their entire staff with them, and they can cook whatever the fuck they want with whatever ingredient they are given.
as long as they include the challenge ingredient. That's the only stipulation.
What is the one where they start with 4, then it goes to 3, then 2, then 1?
That's almost all of them besides Iron Chef.
Generally, that's
Chop-
the most popular
Chopped.
one would be Master Chef.
Or no,
Chopped, actually, I think it was.
no, Master Chef starts with like fucking 20 people.
Oh,
There's
right,
2 different
right.
I remember because I think it was Chopped, and it was like only 2 people ever used the ice cream machine and had good results.
Yeah, I mean, it could either be Chopped or it could be Cutthroat Kitchen.
No,
Cutthroat Kitchen.
I'm too nice to enjoy Cutthroat Kitchen.
Really? Even though Alton Brown's the judge?
And it's
Or the
hilarious.
I don't like the underhanded tactics. I don't find it funny.
Eh.
As I said, I'm too nice.
To each their own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as I said, I'm not faulting you for enjoying it. I just don't like that aspect of it. Chopped. I thought was good. I loved. I don't know if I forget. One of them. They actually had a guy. The whole reason he was on the show is so that he can get a food truck.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
And I don't know if he won, but I know they got him the food truck.
Yeah, he won.
He won.
That's how it.
Yeah.
That's how he got it.
Yeah.
So Cutthroat Kitchen was hilarious in one of the episodes. One of the episodes, one of the guys literally blew all of his money, like every bit of it. And when Alton asked him why he spent all of his money, because he won, but he didn't take anything home. He's like, because I don't care about the money. I came here to win and get the title.
The
I mean,
one-
that's why I prefer Gordon Ramsay's shows,
Mm.
Master Chef, Hell's Kitchen. I mean, Kitchen Nightmares, but that's for a completely different reason.
I think it was Hell's Kitchen because it was Gordon Ramsay, and the chef was blind.
That was Master Chef,
Yeah.
and
I don't know if they won, but he
she
helped
did.
them.
She did.
Mhm.
She won.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I just see the snippets of her winning and crying her eyes out.
Yes, she won. I cannot remember her fucking name, but it's like a 50-50 split. Like you can see, for those of you who know anything about food, and when you're blind, your other senses make up for that. So she can taste fucking better than anybody on that show. But she's at the disadvantage because she can't see what she's doing.
Yeah. But if you can feel I mean, you know how many chefs I know can just cut shit at rapid speed? They don't have to look at their hands.
Yeah.
It's getting to that point that's got to be hell.
Oh yeah, it
Mhm.
is. Are you
I
kidding me?
was at that point.
A lot of those chefs, when it comes to their knife skills, they spent years, and I mean years, of every day off of the line, practicing their knife skills to get to that point.
I was at that point at one time, but then my nerve damage got bad and I, stopped doing it professionally. So now instead of doing, back to front cuts, the chop 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 chop, really I do the opposite, front to back.
Mm.
Just cuz it gives me more control with my shoulder.
Right. Yeah, because your nerve damage, you gotta need to have that. I know that
Yeah.
I know how difficult that can be, honestly. When it comes to
All
like
I
knife
do is
cuts
walk
and
the boat.
yeah, when it comes to knife cutting, I mean, I remember the fact that when I went to cooking school, it took me months to get through my knife skills class.
Mhm.
Like months,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it was everything to perfection. They wanted to make sure that everything was at the proper inch, proper size, because when it came to the food industry, everything's measured. Everything is measured.
Knife skills class is the only reason why I've ever had stitches.
Yep.
I will say the only instructions I've had for cutting is my wife and Good Eats.
Good eats.
I actually that's what he actually had an episode
The hell
where
are
he
you
went
eating?
over knives.
What the
Looks
that an
is that an
eclair?
eclair?
Maybe Claire.
Oh, you bastard.
Went to Costco, didn't you?
No,
Sam's
No,
Club?
my
Walmart.
wife got them from a local grocery store.
Ah.
I mean, there's other places besides Costco and stuff like that sells them.
But,
I mean, that's
no,
true. I just remember Costco having those gigantic tubs of either cream puffs or mini eclairs. And I mean, like, they're giant fucking tubs. I remember when I was a little kid, I got really sick. I got so sick. But my mom bought one. She hid it from me. And the thing with me when I was a little kid, if you hide something from me, I want
you're gonna eat it.
I want it more. So she hid it. I found it, and I was like, you know what? This is mine. Opened it. I ate all of them. All of them. My mom comes home, and I'm just sitting there with the last one. I wasn't hungry. I didn't want to eat it, but I had to eat it.
But I had to eat it.
Tell me if this is true. If you're using a chef's knife, it should always be touching the cutting board.
See,
Yes. Your chef's knife should never leave the cutting board unless you're going to clean it or you're done. Constant motion and constant contact. Safety first, especially, and never do your finger out like this onto the neck of the blade.
Also, this goes with all knife work because I've actually worked for a company where one of the interns did this and really screwed up their hand. It made it so you can no longer have a sharp blade. If you are cutting, 2 golden rules. 1, if it's dull, replace or repair it, depending on what it is.
yeah.
A dull knife is more likely to injure you. 2,
Unless you're talking about me.
God damn it.
if you make sure nothing you like, if the blade goes the way you're pulling it, make sure nothing you like is in that line.
Correct. Always cut away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Cut away from the body.
A box.
Away from the body.
He was opening a box and he was holding the other side of the box along the line while he pulled towards it because it was a dull razor blade box cutter, and he chopped like 3 of his fingers like to the bone.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Like he had permanently fracked up his hand, and all of a sudden everything that was any kind of sharp got banned from that company.
So, funny thing, Centos has that rule, but I still carry a crom bit, and everybody else carries full-on knives.
God damn it.
Whatever. So, funny thing, the reason I said, except for me, when you're saying the dull knife thing will cut you, I was cut by a freshly sharpened, fucking super fine edge, fucking Cisco black diamond chef knife.
Ooh, that must have felt great. I mean, you actually probably didn't feel anything until later, but still.
It's the only time I've ever had stitches, unless you count surgeries. But
oh my,
we were
that was a hot knife through butter, wasn't it?
Yeah, except for the butter was my fucking finger.
I wonder what the rating on that would be if you tested it.
I have no idea, but so we were cutting onions. We were learning how to dice onions. And, they were doing that stupid fucking technique where you cut the onion in half.
And then, yeah.
No. So, all the way across, and then cutting sideways.
Oh, God, I fucking hate that method.
Yeah, so this way, and then you cut this way. And I had my hand fucking, curled, holding the onion. My knife was fucking going through, but I was putting too much pressure on the fucking onion.
Uh-oh.
And it's the knife stayed where it was.
But the onion
my hand stayed where it was. The onion shot across the fucking cutting board, which if you look my fingernail is kind of fucked up because it went straight through the fucking nail.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. That's kind of cringe now.
It just looks like a normal fucking fingernail. It's just you could see where the nail doesn't grow back quite right.
No, I can just feel it though, because I've cut my fingers and stuff so many times.
I've cut myself before too, and I have done it stupid. I have done it honest mistake.
So I ended up getting, I think it was 12 stitches between the first knuckle and the point of my fucking hand.
Ow.
See,
yeah.
Oh man, damn.
Like I was told to wrap my finger in a towel and hold it above my head. Problem is, I'm wearing a white fucking toque on top of everything.
You look like the end of the movie Carrie.
It bled through the towel, and I went to go take my toque off, and I'm like, I think I need to go get stitches on this one. And so they let me leave class and go get stitches, and I took my toque off, and it's just fucking red on top. I'm like, well, fuck.
Got club soda?
Right? See, I can honestly say, the 3 most egregious injuries I've seen, or 2 of them I've received, and 1 of them I've seen someone else receive within the kitchen, other than the dude that got stabbed right through the stomach. One of them was, it was the night of closing. I was closing up the kitchen. and I was just about done. I go outside, and there is this kid with a screwdriver. I think they were young, but they were also high as fuck off their ass. And they were mugging me. I tried to de-escalate the situation, and it ended up with, I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get DMCA. I have a discoloration right here where the screwdriver went in me, which was fun.
Okay then.
Yeah, see, that's why when I was working in a kitchen, I still carried my, my aggressive hole puncher.
Oh yeah, no, I had my knife. He was young, and I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't.
Fuck around and find out, homie.
Yeah, I know. And, well, I also thought, he was twacked out, so I didn't think he would actually do anything that way. And then the second time was when I got mugged after, once again, closing and going to my car. Kind of came out of nowhere. And the dude, you can't really see it, but you might be able to. There's some stitching right there. Actually stabbed up my hand.
Yeah, see, I'm one of those people. You fucking do that shit. You fuck around and find out. I almost knocked somebody out before pulling a knife on somebody else in the fucking kitchen.
All I gotta say is, luckily that's never happened to me because I might have gone to prison. Because I have a very strong fight or flight response, and when I'm in danger, I kind of remember after the fact what happened.
I'm in danger.
I don't know. What was
And now everybody else is, because that voice, you know how I told you I'm too nice?
Mm-hmm.
That turns off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could get that.
And I am horrified of what would happen to somebody if I get when I'm like that. Because I did it to my brother, and I knocked him clean out. And if I didn't let go when I did, I could have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So back when I was working in a kitchen, I was a vastly different chef than I am now. Like, when I say, like,
he had a temper problem. He had a temper problem.
Yeah. So our fucking cook, or our grill cook, was high as shit on fucking crack every night. And, like, he thought he ran the fucking kitchen and shit. And it pissed me off to no end because I was the last surviving original fucking employee from the original restaurant. And, like, we had a fucking tuna special. Tuna steak special, which is made on the fucking saute station.
Steak, okay.
Yeah. And fucking this dumbass calls it out. I put it in the pan, and he calls it out with 2 rare fillets. He puts the fillets on the same time that I put the fucking tuna on. And then, like, I flip it, and he's pulling the steaks off and yelling at me for this fucking tuna. I'm like, dude, why the fuck did you put the fucking rare fillets on at the same time as the goddamn tuna? There's 6-ounce fucking fillets. Like, I need it. I'm like, you cracked out motherfucker, will you shut the fuck up? Like, I just go off. He's like, I fucking need it. I'm like, I will give it to you when it's done, or I will give it to you fucking raw. Which one do you want? I fucking need it. So I put it on the plate. Fucking threw it the fucking window. I can't serve this shit. Fucking remake it. I'm like, I fucking told you what I was gonna do. Like, we just start going on and on and on. I take this fucking frying pan off of the saute station, and I fucking wind up. Everybody on the line sees me, and they part the red fucking sea, because at the end of the line is the fucking sink. And I let that bitch go like it was a fucking boomerang.
Yep.
It drops right into the sink.
That's the kitchen environment. I totally get it. I mean, luckily for me, at the time where these 2 incidents happened, I was much older, and I kind of realized I don't need to be so angry. Those particular instances were 2 people that I actually talked to and helped instead of got them in trouble. I did go to the hospital still, because I had to. But yeah. The only other injury that I ever seen, which was one of the worst ones though, was from my boss, who was a dumbass that decided, I'm going to clean above the fryers that we just turned off, and I'm going to step on the fryer cover. That has a big ass fucking sign on it that says, do not step on. And we
Well,
ended
I mean, he's the boss.
and we ended up learning what
Why you don't do
human
that?
flesh smells like when you deep fry it.
Yeah. Okay. I will say I thought working in McDonald's back was bad. No. From what you guys have said, no. And Domino's Pizza was actually a fun field day compared to what you two have described. And I'm talking Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh yeah,
So
kitchen
aside
environment's
from
fucking wild.
my first year cooking, I have never been injured in a kitchen due to my own fault. But just like why I can't grow a beard, I don't know if you can see, but it's super red right around here.
Mm-hmm.
And same over here. Fucking this side was from a dumbass who was high as shit, and it caused the deep fryer to fucking explode. Because he was high as shit and drained it without turning it off.
Oh my
So
god!
all the crusties and shit were on top of the burner and caught fire. And he was in the middle of filling that crab boil pot with water to flush it out. And I see him look at the fire. Mind you, he's high as fuck. You know, smoking joints on his fucking break and shit. Look at the fire, look at the water. Look at the fire, look at the water. And at this point, I see this and I'm fucking running down the line. And I see him look at the fire, look at the water. Then he picks it up and I yell, Travis, no, as he dumps the entire fucking pot all in one go into the fire that is in the deep fryer. That shit exploded all over this half of my face. I am holding a fucking, a cold compress to my fucking face with 4 other cooks holding me back from beating the shit out of this dude. Mind you, I had just graduated high school, so I was 220 pounds, bench repping 350, squatting 385, and cleaning 220.
Raging with hormones.
Raging with adrenaline after 2 years after my fucking concussion that messed up my adrenaline system, which makes me produce twice as much adrenaline as a normal person. That's why it took 4 grown-ass men to hold me back from beating the shit out of this dude. He did not come back after that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
The thing is, what is up with the places you guys work? I figured he's out like almost every environment I've been around, and I don't know if this is just I've been lucky, but if you're known to be high as a kite, they give you a cup and kick you out.
Well,
that's the problem,
yeah.
though. That's the kitchen industry.
And I'm going to tell you right now, like my 15 years in the food industry, the only time we've ever done a drug test was when I worked within the medical industry, working with either working with elderly. That was the only time. But other than that, there's never an instance where they do a drug test. And funny enough, like
corporate kitchens will too.
They do,
but
too.
That's just because it's corporate.
Yeah. But I will say, like, everybody's high as a kite. Hell, I can honestly say that more often than not while I was cooking, well, it's actually because, one, I didn't want to have a seizure while I was cooking, but I was high. Never high enough to do that dumb fucking shit, ever. Honestly, the only time I've ever been hurt is when Yep.
It's either high or drunk.
Yeah, and it's
drunk
just...
drunk and alcohol.
And within my 15 years of working in the food industry, there was not one singular kitchen that I've ever been at where there isn't someone like that. There isn't at least a group of people like that. It's par for the course of working in the food industry.
It's the stress of the food industry.
I will say I barely know much of anything about cooking and chefs. And I know you don't put water within a country mile of a grease fire.
Correct, but like I said, he was so high, it's like...
Dumbass. Complete dumbass. He had smoked himself completely stupid.
Yep.
It is a rare and bad talent to have. And yes, we are at a time limit, but I want to hear what Chef has to say before we end.
No. Okay, go ahead.
The bad part about like why the drug and alcohol is so bad in food industry workers, especially line cooks, diner cooks, chefs, everything like that, is because the stress of it. And it's not the stress of always being busy. It's the stress of you are working every night, every weekend, every holiday. You do not get PTO. You don't get fucking bonuses. You don't get tips, and you are working for straight hourly.
And as you know the saying goes, shit rolls downhill, and we are the bottom of the hill for most part.
You can't
Let's
have a
just be
restaurant without
honest.
cooks and without chefs, but they sure as hell feel like they fucking can.
That's what they treat us like. There's a reason why I was in there for 15 years and I got out. And I still
You
love
know what?
cooking.
And I'm not gonna lie. Being treated like that in a manufacturing industry
Mhm.
is why I went to school.
I
Because I
I
was making mistakes because I was bored out of my mind.
I mean, that's a discussion for a different day of why I can't go back to school.
Mm.
But at the same time, like, um, I never did the drugs or the alcohol thing, but I dealt with it with extreme fucking anger.
And they're
And like,
the food industry, I'm telling you, in the back, it is an angry place. It is a very angry place.
mhm.
It all it takes is
That's
one
why.
thing. One thing and you'll see a
That is
guy go
why.
off.
That is why. As and I was this is gonna be my last little thing. If you're at a restaurant and it's only slightly wrong, like there's onions, we didn't ask for onions. Get your fork, put them off, eat your food.
Yeah. I mean, again,
Unless there's
so
a food allergy involved, as my wife just said. But
Yeah.
if it's just I don't like onions, oh, they put onions on there and I scrape them off. You have to. My main thing is if I ask for medium well and you give me raw, can you go
yeah.
cook this for the other 2 minutes?
The thing is always be nice.
Mhm.
So I after working in the food industry as long as I did, and I know Alan knows this too, there is a number one rule that I follow, and everybody needs to fucking follow. And that number one rule is do not fuck with someone who fucks with your food.
It's just a
Amen to
general
that.
golden rule. And yes, Shy Guy,
If
I do agree with you. Every profession has that group. You're not wrong.
I I worked in pizza. We have one person, notoriously terrible tipper, general dickhead. I had 4 places to go to. They were the closest to the pizza shop. They got their pizza last
Yeah.
because you don't tip. These other 3 might.
Don't.
You're rude on the phone and rude when I get there. Not tipping, irritating. Being a rude dick on top of it, dude. I drew the short straw. I got your food. I have 3 tippers, one of which is 15 minutes away. I looked at him and said, "This guy's getting his pizza in 25 minutes." And the boss looked over, saw who it was, and said, "You can make it 30. I don't care."
Yep. All right. I do apologize. We ran out a bit long. This is where we're gonna have to end the stream because I do gotta get going. Y'all here on Twitch, stay right where you are because we are gonna send a raid off to somebody. Y'all here on TikTok, I'll see you later. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you, Oda Chef, for being here and being one of the goofs.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. And of course, please do remember to check out my buddy Oda, who does do content. And Chef, are you going live?
No. No.
Yeah, you're too burnt
Long
up.
story short, no.
Okay.
Stay go forever.
So we are going to be raiding my buddy, Mr. Geeky Leather. He is a good friend of mine. I believe he's playing. Oh, he's playing Destiny 2 right now. So please do show him the same one love that y'all have shown me, and also please do look forward to. I'm gonna get back on schedule with my YouTube, and I'm gonna try to get more stuff done. Thing is, one thing that I am going to be working on is I'm going to be making sure that I'm going to be pretty much posting one game series at a time while focusing on posting my podcast that I do need to work on. So there is going to be that. either way, thank you all so much. And also, please do remember to check out on YouTube my buddy here, Chef, and their Nostalgic Nerd Out podcast, which they will be getting back on track for as well. Alrighty.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll see you all later, and I'll see you tomorrow for Toss Up Tuesdays, where we'll see what the dice choose for us then. Bye.
Crack.
Fuck you.
Boy.
Well, everybody, that's the end of today's episode of Bunch of Goofs. I hope you enjoyed, and of course, let's say thank you to our cast, Asian Fasha Gamer, Audacia, and Hey, I'm Chef. Thank you so much, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.